Alright, so we have succeeded in getting this image right from this point over to this point.
What's up YouTube, it's your boy Salem from Retouch Studios, and I'm back with an all-new series on the creative switch. Alright, so today we're going to be having a live retouching session on this beautiful image. I love the image actually. Credit goes to Rafael Rosano Silva, a photographer, a beautiful photographer. Right? I love the depth of field on this image. Depth of field, like this portrait, is really beautiful. Alright, so first things first. Now, you know how we do it. I'm going to be working on the ultimate retouch panel. Okay, so first things first, I would like to first on my workflow would actually be to take out the blemishes. Now the model actually has really beautiful skin. We could just go in. This is natural light. Yeah, very few blemishes. Okay, first thing on the workflow, like I said, I usually would actually be to go on to the third tab on the Ultimate Retouch panel and I select the Spot Healing Brush tool. Now, depending, most times when I'm actually going to do like very in-depth work, I would go with the Healing Brush tool and then work on 2 layers. But today, for this particular tutorial, just going to be duplicating the layer, selecting the Spot Healing Brush tool, and then we go into the image. Right, we zoom in a little bit, okay, and then just have a closer look of the image to see if there are some blemishes that we would want to take out. So the spot here, take that out. Another here, another here. Alright, so that is that. Now, if you notice, the image is quite large, so I wouldn't be saving quite a number of the layers here just to keep up with the speed and all that. But then it's very good practice for you to reserve every layer so you could make changes here and there. But I'm going to flatten the image out, Control E or Command E on Mac. Alright, so next thing we'll actually like to do is come over to the second tab on that's the frequency separation tab on the Ultimate Retouch panel, and this is my favorite. We could actually I would actually put up videos working with these other 3, but today for the scope of this particular tutorial, we're going to be working on the simplest, the 2-layered Gaussian blur method of frequency separation. Alright, so once we have that selected, what I like to do is get a sharp portion, sample sharp portion on the skin and drag the radius dial until there is no more detail. Okay, I think somewhere around there works just fine. I know this is very little reading, but just hang on. Alright, so once that is selected, we just let the computer do its thing, and yeah, a few seconds and voila, we're good to go. Okay, so we already have the mixer brush tool selected by default. That's once you click on the button, so all you need to do is set down dialing your parameters. Alright, so 15% wet, 15% load, and 90% mix and 24% flow. Okay, that's what we'll be working with today. Now, do understand that you could tweak this in different ways, but this is what I find to be one of my go-to arrangements for mixing, working with the mixer brush tool. Okay, so what you would like to do would be to zoom in to level. Could zoom out a little, and then okay, so let's have that and get a suitable brush size and begin to brush. Now, normally I like to go in circles when working on the mixer brush. See that we've come a very long way. This is the before, this is the before, and this is the after. Really beautiful. And one thing I like to do is most times after retouching, after working on the volume retouch, I like to drop the opacity just a little bit. Yeah, but actually for this image I love the results already, so I'm not going to be dropping it so much. I'm just going to be letting it stay right at that spot. Alright, so 95% is a very beautiful spot. Now this is, I don't know, this image is really profound actually. So the next thing I would like to do on this image would be the dodge and burn. Alright, so there's something I love to do. Now you can find the dodge and burn tools on the third tab on your Ultimate Retouch panel. Okay, so I have the third tab selected, dodge and burn. You see it written over here. Now there's all these tools that actually helped geared towards helping you work on your dodge and burn layer. Alright, so usually what I like to do personally is to create two layers, one with the soft lights and also one with the overlay. Okay, now this is no rule. This is just a personal thing I like to do to separate my dodging and burning. Okay, so I have these two layers created, soft lights and overlay. So what I do is that I dodge on the soft lights and then I burn on the overlay, so that actually keeps the work separated. And I just rename the group to dodge, okay, so select that, D and B, dodge and burn. Okay, so right now I'm just going to open up the group and head over to, okay, I personally would want to start on burning. Okay, so I will select the burn tool, make sure your exposure, your range is set to shadows and your exposure is pretty low. Okay, and your preset tones selected. All right, so zoom in to the sweet spot, and I need a bigger brush size. Now I'm not working micro dodge and burn. I just want to have more depth to this image, okay? Okay, so once the dodge tool is selected, make sure your range is set to highlights and your exposure is 3 to 5% works. So begin to dodge. Just take a smaller brush size. Okay, so the good thing about this is you could always turn off the dodge and burn layer and see how far you have come and see the differences. And I don't know about you, but this image looks way more enhanced right here, although I know it's a little too far. You could always come down and drop the opacity until you get the right feel for it. So you can see that when we're working on this is the before and this is the after. Okay, so I love this. This really stands out pretty nice. Alright, so the last thing I would want to do is to work on the eyes of this image. The image is already looking so profound already. We'll go head over to the 4th tab on the panel. Okay, now once that has come up, we head over to the eyes tool and click. Okay, so the high pass window comes up, and be sure to actually take quite a large radius. Found that usually 10 actually works pretty well, but for this image, I think somewhere around 7.4 is cool. And we start over here. You can notice that you're all set up on layer max, so you need your brush to be selected and make sure that you have your white color selected. Okay, so now I'm going to take up my flow just a little bit, zoom in to the eyes. Now we're trying to make these eyes pop out. Okay, so we brush some white over there and some white. Now always make sure that your layer max is what is selected before doing this. We brush over some white here, you notice that the eyes actually pop out some more right now. Okay, now we'll head over to right iris and we do the same thing. We're going to paint some white over that, so just get the right brush size, and paint some white over it. And this is for the eyeballs. I like to keep the eyeball as natural as possible, so I don't clean up those little imperfections. Sometimes I actually do, but this actually looks pretty nice. Here's the fun part. You could do the same thing with It works pretty fine on the teeth. Ideally, you would need to, come over here and create a separate layer for the teeth, but it's your choice, okay? Alright, I don't know about you, but this looks really lovely to me. Yeah, so we actually have succeeded in such a short time in getting this image right from this to this, and this is really lovely. Alright, so if you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to be working on the ultimate retouch panel, and there's a whole lot of videos coming up. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe right now. Look down, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can be notified whenever any new tutorial is dropped. Yeah, I wouldn't be promising you that I will be getting you a new episode every week, but let's work with that. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.